That would be. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, it's worked. Right. There isn't an option. Oh, that's bloody good. It might be best if that's the case. Then do you want me to host the party? Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, one sec. Yeah. Is it all good? Has it let you? Hang on. I know where it is. Yeah, I know where it is. It's just for some reason it's just had to change itself. That's why. There you go. Okay. Right, after that. Torches now, who cares? Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round 4 here of the CSS Championship. Not hosted by your usual lot. I've actually now been promoted from co-coms to main comms. If you don't like it, deal with it. But welcome to, like I said, to round 4 here at Montreal, the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, joined by myself, ESV Bobert, and my co-cons for tonight, Mr. Zach Clark. And Zach, how are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. A bit tired. Drinking apple juice, obviously.
Apple juice for the win. I mean, I'd prefer a good beer myself, but obviously, you know, age restricted everybody. If you're not over the age of 18, obviously, I do not advise to have a drink. But here we are, like I said, at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, a fantastic circuit in my opinion. One of the legendary tracks, you know, legendary street circuit. Obviously got some big names here on the grid here tonight. Some new signings as well. Obviously, you know, not going to be biased at all, but I will be biased with my own team, Team Shizou, with Ogwin on his debut here for Shizou. Let's see what he's going to hopefully cook us up a good result tonight. But looking at it, Zach, it looks like it's going to be a dry qualifying, but an overcast quali.
Yeah, obviously track temps won't be an ideal temperature for the drivers, but I would still expect to see some good laps, especially from the people like Allison and Blackie of really good pace, and also Arch as well, and obviously Ogwin. So I think we will see a battle between Shizou and TTM here today.
Oh yeah, definitely as well. Yes, it does look to me like it. You know, you got like obviously it's unfortunate that we have lost NVR, but. Yeah, and we have obviously instead got WR who are joining us in, so welcome to WR, who unfortunately did join in late, so I'm going to have to have the wrath of a qualifying ban. But Rev Caterpillar is going to be the first driver to set a lap time, coming through the first sector and already now into sector 2. He's got one of the Shizou Red Bulls in his way going down into the middle sector. Not too sure what sort of times you should be looking at. I'll be brutally honest, Zach. I've not done this track in a good 4 months. Any ideas what we should be looking at?
Let me check what the PC what was it? Whole time was. Let me do 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine as Rev is now coming down on the BS3. Yeah, getting a lovely slipstream there from his teammate who nearly actually went into the side of the McLaren as he comes now through the final chicane into the wall of champions, misses it perfectly. Well, I say perfectly, not perfectly, but you know what I mean, as he sets the initial back of over 109.632 there from Mr. Rev Caterpillar.
Yeah.
The house now coming across the line of Andrea, 5,000s behind him, so insanely tight there between the top few, and Arch going 2/10 slower.
Yeah, I think for pole time, we'll be looking at low 9s today. Maybe a high 8 if someone could hook the lap up.
I do seem to remember high 8s being a possibility, but we'll just have to wait. Obviously, it depends on if everyone can hook their lap up together. As Trey now coming across the line, and he absolutely smashes that initial banker from Rev Caterpillar by nearly 0.4 of a second. Blimey, a 9.2 from Trey. Obviously, he did get a bit of a toe from his teammate Dan there. Obviously, clearly the toe was working well there for TF10. TF10 have had a little bit of an up and down start to their season there, Zach. I mean, they'll be hoping with both Trey and Dan that they get themselves...
Stanners is on the pitch straight with no front wing. Not ideal.
Stanners is on the front straight with no front wing. Has he crashed it into the wall of champions? Is he a champion-elect?
No. Sorry.
Who knows, as Allison now goes just over a 10th clear of TF10 Trey with a 109.1. Simbarock's going up to P4 and Agonize slotting into P3. Simba splitting the two Mercedes pairings. For the time being, GL Coco looks like he's starting a lap as his teammate Ultra finishes his lap.
Morda's on an out when he has a quality one. Oh dear.
Oh, yes.
Not ideal.
We're not going to say any more on that matter as Dan now comes into the final chicane. Very tentative on the exit there, completely missing the World Champions after getting the toe by his teammate, and 4/10 behind his teammate there. Obviously, a lot of people have set those mid 109s at the moment, but obviously Trey and Allison look like they have sent the benchmark for the time being, as obviously Mulder is now actually starting a lap. That's definitely going to get caught out, I think, by the looks of it. As Placky now comes into the final chicane, set his initial banker. Again, looked like he got a teammate from his teammate Allison. Where does Placky goes into P4. Decent, obviously decent. He's actually up towards the front, but look at that. He's nearly half a second off his teammate, and it looks like Allison and Trey, well, for the time being, at least anyway, and are in a completely different league to everybody else.
Yeah, you can see like low 9s. There's a really, really good banker here. Obviously, you can see the 3/10 gap to P3. Agonize does do more though in P3 for FRC.
Yeah, Agonize, obviously, yeah, we know Agonize. He's been around a little while now. Obviously, he's I'm not going to say he's a hit and miss driver, but when he's on the ball, he is on the ball. He can definitely get that lap in. As I think Aid, I don't know if he finished the lap and invalidated, or he cut turn 1 and invalidated. So not the best of starts by BRT, who both drivers have not set an initial lap time. Mulder is going to finish his flying lap. That's one for stewards to go into, but he does set a 109.7. Goes into P9 ahead of Arch there. Only 13 drivers initially setting a lap time at the moment. Obviously, Arunca has retired. I think that might have been... I don't know if that was a glitch from when he lagged out of the session and rejoined.
I mean, if we take a look at the standings now, sorry for interrupting you. In the standings, we've got TTM on 156 points, nearly 50 points above BRT. So they've got a very good buffer right now to P2. BRT will need a good result today if they want to bridge or shorten that gap to TTM.
Oh yeah, TTM in these first few rounds have just been in leagues above everybody else to start with. As Harv commenting in the chat saying that I got dunked on in AEC France, and you're not wrong, Harv. You are not wrong. I will not deny that. I had a very poor race that day. I had a very poor qualifying. I actually bottled a front row start, but we don't talk about that. That's been and gone now. Past is past. We're here today. For CSS at Canada, we're not talking about France anymore. That's for another day. So you can shush yourself.
Vettel's also going for an out lap.
Vettel is also going an out lap. So clearly, again, they did not seem to get the memo. As missing Rev here. He's actually on his second flying lap now. Already come through the first sector, nearly a 10th up, and supposedly purple according to the game. I don't actually believe it for 1 second. No, I mean it was a 0.2. He seemed to be quite decent, but we'll see how he gets into the hairpin. He's now over 3/10 up, going into the end of the middle sector, and his teammate is there, ready to give him the toe. Agonized, waiting on the edge of the hairpin, and he. It'll be interesting to see what sort of top speeds that we get. I'm just going to quickly, briefly look at up to 2 or 5 miles an hour with a slipstream. Very, very, very quick, and then Rev nearly brushing the wall, but that is what you call perfection. Where does Rev go? He goes into P3. Actually lost a bit of time in that final sector.
It seemed like he went a bit too deep into that chicane, it seemed like. But we've got, I think, a Ferrari finishing or starting, I'm not sure. I think it's Ultra starting his lap. Yeah, he's in the first sector. He goes a bit deep into turn 1, which compromises his line. Into the
PSR Arch. goes into P2. He was nearly half a second up on his time, gets to over 6/10 clear. Improvement on his bank lap and PSR Arch. For Team Shizou, goes into second place, joining Allison on the front row for the time being. And obviously, Ogwin is starting his second lap. He'll be right behind him, looking for that toe. As they go down the back straight again. Both BRT drivers currently still on out laps. The Haas duo, I think Andrea is finishing his lap. Indeed he is, but he's not improving, and in fact he's invalidated.
Agonize
so he's
gonna
just
get a
finishing his lap.
slipstream now from Rev down the back straight. Don't know how far he is of his lap so far, but he's got.
So Agonize is actually 2 tenths down at the moment. He's Agonize on this lap alone. As Allison goes into the 108. I've missed that. I completely missed that. So apologies on that front, but. Busy looking at Agonize, who's now weaving across the line, not happy with his lap time whatsoever. But yeah, TTM Allison, nearly a quarter of a second clear of PSR Arch, and he's looking good at the moment. It is early days, but he is looking good for pole position. As Ogwin now getting the toe from Arch, going into the final chicane. Nearly brushes the wall of champions again. Complete perfection there by Mr. Ogwin on his debut, and he goes P2 onto the front row. Just about a 10th of a second behind Allison. Shizou in P2 and 3. But TTM still looking good at the moment. But Placky, how is he doing on his lap? He's coming to the end of Sector 2 now. He's got Allison in front of him, obviously ready to give him that toe. Placky is a 10th up at the moment, so maybe... he's going to hope that there's quite a bit of time to find in that last sector at the moment. A 10th he's only going to gain in one place to go ahead of Agonized.
He's getting a nice slipstream. The car on the right pulling out there. Like getting a nice slipstream down into the chicane. Maybe a bit of traffic ahead of him. Nails the chicane.
He's got one of the BR. He's actually going to get a nice little toe from the BRT driver. Obviously not intentional, but P5 for Placky. Yeah, he got that little bit of an extra toe there from the BRT driver. I don't know if that's aid or if it's indeed it is aid F1. As actually I completely missed that BRT Finn has now gone into P2 from his lap. So BRT finally getting one driver up towards the sharp end of the grid, and now aid F1 obviously on their lap as well. On a 19.3 first sector, not the quickest at the moment, but there is still plenty of time, as we seem to have a double slipstream going on here, as it looks like for TF10, and with one of the G League Ferraris in front. It isn't really a block, it's just essentially an extra double toe, and TF10 Dan goes just ahead of his teammate into P6. Trey obviously not improving on his second run, but TF10 occupying P6 and P7. Be interesting to see how aid F1 is doing though on their lap, and in fact, he's not going to be getting the toe from BRT Finn, whether there's a bit of miscommunication or didn't want the toe or something has happened. But aid F1 is going to, and he's invalidated going into the final chicane. So BRT with one of their drivers currently down on the back row of the grid. So aid F1 has got it all to do with one run left to go.
Yeah, I mean, according to Smeggy, Ogwin got hit on his lap as well, so maybe there is even more time for him to find. But in the top 3, split by about a 10th there, very, very close.
Smeggy, name and shame. Do we know who it is? Should we name and shame them?
Or
do we leave that?
As an Xbox admin, I will allow name and shaming, but up to him.
Oh, there we go. We will allow name and shaming. As Simba Rocks 1 was actually a 10.5 up going through the first sector, but is invalidated. Yeah. He's invalidated somewhere on the lap. He's now 2 tenths up, so this could have been a potential decent lap here for Simba. Not getting a toe, but obviously, I see he's not getting a toe. It's because his teammate is actually out of the session.
Jesus on the AZ account again.
Interesting.
Andrea going very slowly. Never mind. Just on his out lap.
Yeah, he's just on his out lap, and as AMS Gergo actually on his next lap. 8 thousandths down at the end of Sector 1, but hopefully he's got plenty more time to gain in the second and third sectors. Currently P14 on the 109.8, so got quite a bit of time to find, and is currently still not improving. Actually nearly a 10th down.
He's not even a slipstream, is he?
And Gergo, yeah, he's not even going to get a slipstream because obviously his teammate had that issue. So Gergo's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, without slipstream, without a toe. As we're going to ride on board with him, as we're going to go into the final chicane, going through to the Wall of Champions. Does he hit the Wall of Champions? No, he does not. Takes it very nicely. Maybe he could have taken a little bit more speed, but I'm not here to judge. And in fact, he does improve, but does not improve position.
Yeah, just to clarify, I think WR will both get a DSQ after I have completed laps with the Q-ban, so not a good debut for those lads.
No, definitely isn't. I mean, obviously they were pre-warned, they were told, but if you don't listen, you don't do as you're told,
Just
you're
get,
going to pay the
just get to
consequences.
the talent lobby, innit? It's not hard. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly. You know, the lobby's there open, you just add the host a bit. But again, I'm not here to judge. I am not here
moving
to judge.
swiftly on, I think we've
Moving
got
swiftly on.
Simba. Oh, finishing. Never mind. But we
I
have
think so. I think Simba's coming to it. So Andrea is on a lap, coming to the end of Sector 1. A tenth and a half up at the end of the first sector. So good start by Andrea, but still got 2 sectors to go. His teammate will be waiting to give him the slipstream going down that back straight, coming into the middle sector. For what I actually think is the most difficult corner on the track. As my opinion, as Andrea goes for a little slide there through mid-corner. It's very difficult, is that middle chicane. And yes, indeed, Andrea has lost a bit of time, but he's gone sliding again the rear end. Just wanted to snap out of it, going into the hairpin. His teammate Stannis is there to give him the slipstream, but I think Andrea has lost all of the time that he had gained through those first 2 sectors. A good slipstream there by Stannis. Into the final chicane now comes Andrea, takes it very nicely, just clips the wall ever so slightly with that front right hand tyre. Does he improve on his time? He does, only just. He does move to P10, but that was definitely a fair bit of time lost there from Andrea. He might be a bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, TF10 Trey on his lap right now, 1.4 seconds down though, into the hairpin. Yeah, Dan was ready to give him 6-3, but just not a good lap from Trey. I'm gonna get a win for him now.
As Mulder has been disqualified pit lane.
He's been told to disqualify himself, as he does have a quality ban, as long as he does do it
as
safely.
Has Vettel.
Oh,
as
and
has Vettel
Rev's
as well.
binned it.
As Rev Caterpillar has binned it.
Binned it in the, what's that? I don't even know what chicane it is anyway.
It's, it's just
two,
the middle chicane.
It's binned it, yeah.
It's the other sector 2, and Archer's backed out of his lap, so Archer's now not going to improve. He's invalidated somewhere on his lap, but yeah, he's binned it. And, well,
now.
that's...
But
he's invalidated. He's 2 tenths up, but he has invalidated.
You've got Finn starting his lap now, just going through the World Champions, sorry. Can he get a good lap? Currently P2, about 10th off Allison. The RC do need this lap, as even is in P17. See what he can do.
Indeed they do. I mean, Allison's obviously not going to... I mean, he is 4 tenths up apparently on his time. This would have been a sensational lap by Allison, but obviously it comes to no avail as he has invalidated. I think actually the next driver to finish the lap is going to be TF10 Dan, who is just about a tenth of a second up after the first 2 sectors. His first sector was fantastic, but his middle sector was, he'd lost a bit of time. And well, obviously, as you said, Allison with a 0.4, he's going to be disappointed at the fact that he's just invalidated what potentially would have been a pole position. But here comes TF10 Dan, get the slipstream from his teammate TF10 Trey into the final chicane. Oh, he got a little bit deep there. I think he's lost a bit of speed on exit, but what can TF10 do? Where does he go? P3, second row of the grid.
Yeah, got Finn going down the back straight now. He was about 10th down into the last hairpin. But Biotti Finn getting a slipstream from Aiden down the back straight now. This is looking like a good slipstream. Aiden pulls out to the right. Finn into the World Champion chicane. Really on the limit. There he hits the wall a little bit. He grazes it. But he's going to come to the line now. Across the line, it's going to be a slight improvement. Only a low 0.0. Not enough to topple Allison. As qualifying is over.
Indeed, qualifying is over. Everyone's going to be finishing the laps. Ogween nearly a tenth of a second up, coming at the end of sector 2 through the last chicane. Now get a tow from Arch. Where does Ogween go? Can he go ahead of Allison? He can! It's pole position for I was going to say MVR Ogween, but no, Shizu Ogween. Ignore the title. He will get that changed. As Placky goes into P5 and gets ahead of the other Shizu driver, PSR, well, of Shizu I may as well say. So you've got TTM locking out the first and third rows for the time being. Dan, obviously, we know is done. Finn is done. Agonized is not getting a slipstream. He is done. Simbarox goes into P8. Good effort from Simbarox, says he did not even get a slipstream as well. So that is a good effort there by Simba. I don't know if anybody else is actually on a lap as such. I mean, Aid is the one that we really need to watch because Aiden's not set a lap time. He's got, obviously, Finn giving him the slipstream, pulls out now. Could have maybe given that a bit longer, but it is what it is. Here he comes into the final chicane, keeps it clean this time, does not. Oh, that's a nice Alpine there on the exit of the corner. Where does Aiden go? P8. At least he gets a time on the board, and he's at least up towards at least in the top half of the field. But fantastic. That was a good qualifying there. Allison's going to be a little disappointed that he's he's still in the front row, but he's lost the pole position, and it's Ogwyn on his debut taking pole position.
Ogwyn on his debut for Shazy. What a lap from him. Allison. Sorry. Anyway, Allison.
I don't even know, where did that even come from?
I don't even know. Anyway, Allison invalidated a 0.4, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I mean. He should be 4 or 5 tenths clear of the field.
Just makes the race more interesting.
It does make it more interesting, but anyway. P2 is still a very good starting position, and to be honest, sometimes it's not. It might actually even be better than starting in P1.
Get the run down as time 1.
Exactly, but we'll wait and see. But it's Ogwyn, obviously, for Team Shazoo, who takes pole position here at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Allison in second, BRT Finn in third is your top 3. TF Sedan in fourth, Placky in fifth. So you've got 4 different teams in the top 4, but you've got the top 4 teams pretty much in the in the top 8 positions. 2 Shazoo, 2 TTMs, 2 BRTs, 2 TF10s.
It's going to make.
I mean, it is going to make for strategy is going to be key here. It's going to be very key. FRT are going to be a little disappointed, I think, finding themselves on the 5th row of the grid. Rev in 10th and Agonize in 11th. Obviously, Rev binned it on his final run. Obviously, Simba starts 9th. And like I said, Rev 10th, Agonize 11th. Then you got Andrea, Coco, Gergo, Ultra, Stanners, Samuel, Arunca, and then Mulder and Vettel, who got told to disqualify themselves because they should be starting from the rear end of the field. So thankfully, they have actually listened
also,
to what they should have done.
A different rule to ZRS. Obviously, ZRS merged into CSS. For readying up on the grid, you can ready up whenever you want, obviously. So, obviously, someone could just ready up very quickly and catch someone up, but you never know.
This is, I mean, it's not a bad idea, but this is the thing. It's like nobody wants to ready up because they want to think, well, I don't want to ready up first, and this is my strategy, and everyone else is going to change. It's a case of who's going to be that initial person, who's going to ready up. But anyway, let's get your thoughts in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this race? How many safety cars are we going to see? Get your bets in.
I want to give you
Zach,
my predictions.
Give us your top 3. Give us your top 3.
P1, I'm going to go for my guy Allison. Shows amazing pace. I think he can pull off in the race. But with furious engineering, I doubt. I'm joking. Anyway, I think Allison can win. But
furious, I wouldn't take that.
P2, I am saying Ogwyn. I think they will swap positions. Ogwyn, obviously, he's a great driver, and I don't doubt his ability whatsoever. But I think Allison just has that small edge. And for P3, I'm going to go for Trey. I think Trey does also have good pace. And I think if Trey can hook it up, you will have a great race. And safety cars, I'm gonna say 1 main SC or 1 don't know what the word. 1 SC and 1 BSC.
Okay, so we're going to go for 1 safety car and 1 VSC. Obviously, there is a poll in the chat. Tell us know which team you think is going to win. Will it be Team Shazoo? Will it be TTM? Will it be BRT? Or will it be somebody else? 3 votes have gone for TTM. That is clearly biased. Obviously, I've now voted. You know who I'm voting for, so that's just, because that's just how it's going to be. But no, my prediction, obviously, I'd love to see either Arch or Ogwyn win. I don't care who wins. But let's just put it this way. I have been carrying this team in this competition, so it's time somebody else did the donkey work. So, someone else has got to do it.
Yeah, I think that's someone else.
In all honesty, though, Allison looks good. I will admit Allison looks good. He does look very, very good. But anything can happen.
We are in for a good race. Whatever happens, we're in for a good race. Canada, not on many league racing calendars or event calendars this game cycle, but I think we will have a good race.
Mr. Jack Taylor's gone for a Zimba, for P1, but we'll see if that's going to happen as we've got 5 red lights and immediately they're out and away we go. And it looks to me like Ogwyn's got a decent start, as has Allison. Finn looking down the inside of Allison into turn 1. He's now going to have the outside round into turn 2. But Allison's going to have the inside in through to the next chicane, so Finn's probably going to have to stay behind. TF10 down, trying to hold off TTM. Placky in for P4. Placky's actually had quite a good start here as he's trying to go around the inside. He cuts the chicane. He does a Sebastian Vettel, and maintains that 4th place. Oh, is that a 5-second penalty? Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to start any controversy with that. But Plucky maintains P4, down in P5, Arch P6, Trey P7. It looks like the top 10 have stayed as they were, but Simba rocks one, having a look down the inside of Aiden, and Aiden's dropping back. He's actually now lost the place to Riv Caterpillar. Has Aiden got damage here? Doesn't look like it. It could be minor contact, and it's just obviously might not be showing. But now he's under threat from the second Mercedes of Agonized, and Aiden really struggling. And Agonized probably going to try and get on the battery now, but Aiden's going to burn it himself to try and stay ahead. And Rev Caterpillar has now just burnt his way past Simbox One. So Rev Caterpillar's had a good start here.
There's already a gap emerging between Arch and Trey. Maybe Arch getting the burners on early just to breach that gap between him and the TF10 driver.
Yeah, definitely looks like it. But yeah, I did the first lap already, and Ogwin is your race leader from Allison, Finn, and Placky. Like I said, the top 7 have maintained positions, and there has been no spinners. Everyone is still facing the right way. Everyone is still in the train. So that is something else. As I say that, Vettel has now just gone to the back of the field. I don't know if he just had a bit of a rear end stop as Agonized sending one from Narnia. On Simba, there was really no opportunity there to overtake. And, well, Simba manages to hold up, but he's now going to have to be on the battery as Andrea now tried to make a look for a move on Aiden, and Aiden has dropped another position. Aiden not having a good start to this race here for BRT.
Yeah, if we look at the position changes now, Aiden is the biggest loser with 4 positions lost for him on the opening lap and a half. And the biggest gainer is Aronka Hun with 5 positions gained for AMS. Bear in mind, guys, there is a top 15 points in this tournament. So if you have even if you have a mid-race, you can still get some points to your team.
Indeed you can, as Gergo go. Oh, that's well, I've got no words for that. Safety car deployed. Stanners and Gergo just came together there. That was almost an airplane crash. I thought the Haas was actually going to go into the into the lake or the river next to the track, but safety car deployed. No real surprise. I was right on board with that. Not too sure. I don't know if Gergo cut across or whatever, but that was an interesting one to say the least.
I didn't see what happened, but
I had just got on board with it because I saw them side by side, and it looked to me, I think Gergo was trying to cut across Stanners, unless it was the other way around. Could be completely wrong with that, but Stanners is out of the race. Unfortunately, Gergo lost his front wing, but he's obviously gone into the pits, made that wing change, as has WR Vettel. Whether he picked up damage or not as well, I'm not too sure, but obviously, like I said, it has brought out the safety car. The Green has gone past
now, because our top 12 are all on the hard compound of tyre. But if you watch back on the stream now, yeah, Gergo has just swapped across Stanners into the gas chicane, so obviously I'm not going to comment whose fault that is currently, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, for pit stops, I don't think anybody is going to box at this early stages of Grand Prix. Maybe a hard runner would try medium, bit of a clap decision if you do, but I don't think anyone will right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It looks like it's too early to call, but there is a McLaren at the back, which is FG Samuel going for a pit stop. He's at the back of the field. He's going to try something new, and he was on the medium compounded tyres. So he's probably now going to go on to a set of hards, I'd presume. Yeah, indeed, he has got a set of hards to get back. He's going to be the same strategy now, just have slightly fresher tyres. Yes, Lurch, you are correct. I am not allowed to leak ERS. I have to make sure I don't do that this time, as you would do for any, other leagues aspect. I've got to be on my best behaviour.
Yeah, man, obviously, the telemetry just ruins the viewing of the stream, in my opinion. Anyway, yeah, only, I think, one person who wasn't involved in the incident making a pit stop, which was Samuel, onto the hard tyre, which only leaves the hard and board on the mediums. I wonder if they can make any positions on with their tyre advantage.
Indeed, yes. So I was just making sure that I actually, Joseph, keep your mouth shut.
Joseph, mate, it's not a rule. It's just streamer preference, isn't it? It's not a rule. It's streamer preference. If you want to have it on, have it on. If you don't, you don't.
Oh, I got told I couldn't.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Wait,
why I'm doing as I'm told.
we move. I didn't even know that was a road. I don't know that at all.
I mean, the tyre deltas are, look, I like I said, for any other one, I do what I do, and, you know, there's no real issues. But obviously, I'm going to say, I guess you could say at the moment, the main streamer for this. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I'll just do as it is what it is.
Well, yeah,
But anyway, safety car still remains out. Gergo is still over 20 seconds behind.
Yeah.
And he is gaining, so it's just going to take its time here.
Yeah,
But,
on the opening lap, we've seen that Ogwyn has held his position. To be honest, in top 3, you'll have all stayed intact. In this top 7, there has only been one move with Plaki overtaking Dan. Also, just want to say, Dan having a good race for TF10. Only recently signed Kenzie FVP and Harry Jenner 24. Good signing from those two, and obviously he is having a good race so far for TF10, along with Trey. Hopefully,
he is, yeah. I mean,
TF10, if they can get some points, if TF10 can get some good points, hopefully move towards BRT in the standings.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the moment, yeah, they are looking good in 5th and 7th. I mean, obviously, yeah, Dan has lost that place controversially a little bit to Plaki as I was on board, and Plaki, you know, cutting the chicane, thinking, like I said, he's Sebastian Vettel. Whether he was left space or not is up for debate. I'm sure that could be taken in depending at the end of the race, but we'll have to see as the safety car is coming in the end of this lap. Gergo has caught the safety car train. Cam, that is not happening in this century. So, yeah, be quiet. But anyway, Ogwyn is now going to back the field up, wait for that safety car to get into the pit lane, and he's going to decide when he wants to go. As to where he's going to go, your guess is as good as mine. But obviously we've got Shazoo from TTM, from BRT, from TTM, from TF10, from Shazoo, from TF10. And like I said, obviously the big loser of everything at the moment is Aiden. But the race is young. We've still got 30 laps to go. It's a case of when does Ogwyn go. It looks like he's going to go just before the chicane, and indeed he does. Doesn't really catch anybody. Well, Trey got caught napping a little bit. But we're back underway again at the start of lap 6. Like I said, 30 laps to go. Ogwyn leading this Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, obviously he's had a good restart. Has got a 6th, 10th, 7th buffer to Allison now, but it has all remained clean in the background here.
Yeah, Aiden trying to go for a move right there to turn 2. And look at Arunca there on the inside, taking candy from a baby. Then two battling with each other. And as Aiden has just been sent nearly into the wall. He almost did a Felipe Massa. And Aiden has now just dropped from 12th down to, well, he's now second from last. Didn't look like he was left enough space there. Arunca definitely. Joseph, shut the hell up! Don't make me come over there with that sort of comment. Look, I'm just showing my age. All right, it's not my fault. I'm old. As Samuel makes the move on G-League Ultra going into the hairpin, and Gergo is now actually. Oh, Vettel's had a mistake there. Not too sure what's happened. I thought Gergo was going to get ahead of Aiden and dislodge Aiden to the back of the field, but it's not quite happening. Going back towards the front, PSR Arch. Oh, I don't know if he clobbered the wall of champions there or if that was TF10 Dan, but Arch looking down towards the inside into turn 1. On TF10 Dan, Dan leaves in the space on the inside line. Arch going to go around the long way, round turn 2. Can he get this move done? And it looks like he's going to. He's on the power, he's on the battery, and indeed he does. He gets that move done on TF10 Dan. Dan just made a bit of a mistake into the wall of champions, and Arch just said thank you very much, and he takes that 5th place. Don't make... Yeah, well, I'm fully aware of that, you know. I don't care. Joseph, come on. Am I rattled? No. But, you know.
Anyway,
that's what happens.
Moving swiftly on again. Red Caterpillar, just dropping off a little bit from the top 7 here again. I think he did last for the safety car as well. But also positions have stayed the same. Dan has lost another position, unfortunately. TF10 now sitting, or TF10. Anyway, in P6 and 7. The BRC thing still flying the flag for BRT. Aiden made a position against Ultra now, just as I speak.
Yeah, Aiden obviously trying to, recover through the field after that incident that we had with Andrea, as Arunca has now made up another position. He's making these medium tyres work for him for now. He's made that place up on Simbarox 1 into P10. So Arunca having a decent race here. Remember, he started at the back of the field after his disconnect from qualifying. So Arunca doing a decent job. Obviously, he is on that alternative strategy. So it could be short-term gain, long-term pain. But we'll see, obviously, how this race progresses. As Rev Caterpillar once again has the DRS, but he's just over a second out of that window. Our FRT going to struggle here. Obviously, Agonize is not even close to Rev Caterpillar himself. He's now gained a little bit through the chicane. I think Trey made a little bit of a mistake. But
Can I just say, one thing I have
seems to be
seen
struggling.
is Trey just was on like a the fuel light, so maybe he's severely underfueled for this race, hoping for safety cars. If not, he's gonna have to fuel save into the corners, which could lose him time.
Potentially. Furious telemetry can't be put on. Sorry, I've been told that I can't. So, normally I would say fuck this system. Sorry for swearing, if you can do that or not. But obviously,
whoa, body, that's a stream gone, mate. That's a 20 you lost out on that. Can't believe you said that.
I'll put that in the swear jar. All right.
Yeah, good mate. Yeah.
As G League Ultra seems to have dropped out of DRS, so the back three seem to be struggling a little bit. But it does seem to be at the moment we are holding station. Ogween still leads this race as he has done from the start. Allison half a second behind him. Finn half a second again behind him. Aplaki, the gaps are just maintaining here. Obviously, as I said, Ultra for G League just seems to be losing a little bit of pace to those in front, and Samuel, even on those 3 laps, slightly newer, harder compounded tyres, isn't really doing anything with them at the moment. But the top 16 in the DRS train.
Sorry, just saw Joseph's comment.
Oh, why? What's he done? Oh. Right. Yeah, no comment.
Anyway, Allison still in the DRS of Ogween, 2 cents behind him, going into the Wall of Champions chicane. Getting a bit of a bad chicane though, losing 2 cents there.
Can I just mention, Joseph, my name is not a certain Limitless, okay? We'll just leave it at that.
Limitless is not anyway. We don't talk about him. We don't.
Yeah,
we don't,
that's why I'm. That's just kind of why I'm not. That's why I'm not going to prison.
No negative energy.
Oh, I'm not bothered what this lot say. It's all in good fun. Take it on the chin. It's all you do. It's all you can do. As it looks to me like the second G League driver of Coco now seems to be
struggling a bit
teetering on the edge on losing the DRS himself, as his teammate Ultra has now just lost the place to Vettel for P17. But these 3 are now 2.5 seconds behind the next driver in front, which is Mr. Aiden. But yeah, it's a long way to go still. But yeah, now they're just dropping even more time, it's going to be a very long race for them. Whereas everybody else is just in this big old...
Allison in the slipstream now. On the back straight, will he go for the move? He's getting very close to Ogween. Gonna be that the inside into the last chicane now. Allison, they're gonna go side by side, and Allison gets the move done into the last chicane. Great move from the Dutchy there. Now Ogween.
BRT Finn. Here comes Finn.
They go around the outside, then into the flash chicane. He gets the move done as well. Ogween does not hang around the outside. Finn, can he get the move stick? Yes, he can. Ogween lost 2 positions there in a sector and a half.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that's the difference. You get the DRS, you get a double dose of it, and Ogween obviously not having it at all. And TTM and BRT taking advantage. I think Finn wanted to follow Allison through so he could gain that net P2 position, and that's what he's gone and done. As Gergo now joins Ultra, both having 3-second time penalties, as Gergo has actually hit the wall, and we have a virtual safety car.
My prediction has been fulfilled. No more safety cars, please. Thank you, guys.
He's got no front wing. That is why we have the VSC. Does that need a VSC? I don't think so, but that's just the great game that we have here.
Just how it is. I wonder if anyone will make any pit stops under this VSC. I doubt anyone would, as it is very tight. But
is it only the 10 times, James? I've lost count, although I'm not all that bothered.
My apologies, old man. I'm sorry.
Somebody, right? I'm just gonna say now for my
Allison box.
For Allison does indeed box, as does Ogween. Finn stays out. Now, they're obviously going to go onto the medium compounded tyres. Can the mediums get to the end, as there's quite a
To
few
do some
people pitted.
calculations quickly. I will get that information to you right now. I just don't know if I can. Can't give people information. Anyway,
But we definitely are they thinking a 2-stop maybe? Obviously these mediums are going to be a lot bigger. It is a shorter pit lane, obviously, because you do miss the first corner and you come out onto the exit of turn 2, so you're not going to lose that much time. And as well, it is a VSC, but that could potentially work out. I mean, I am going to bring out. Can I actually bring out the? How do I change the get? Oh, that's it. That's me being stupid again, as usual. As obviously we are now back under racing. But Allison, 12.5 seconds, or now 12 seconds as we get back up to speed. In fact, it's a lot less than that. I'm going to wait for it to count down to where it should be. 10.5, just under 10.5 seconds off the leader. So he's not too much time if you think about it, and he is still in P11. So it's easy enough for me to say that's 10 positions.
Yeah,
it's one thing to catch, another thing to overtake. But on these, brand new set of medium tyres, just the same with Ogween, the same with Dan, Placky, Arch, who have split up a little bit, by the way. I want to point out, and Arch might have been, actually he wasn't held up in the pits because he's still on the back of Placky. But it's going to be interesting to see what these guys all do and where they're going to end up.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it would have been better for Finn to box or not in that situation. Obviously, he's just going to have to fire it now and stay out. And Allison now 2.8 behind that back train. So, like you said, Roberts, it's one job to catch and another job to overtake. So we'll see what he can do when he eventually catches up.
Indeed, has just caught a runker there down the pit straight, making. Oh, he's just gone for a slide. I don't know how you got a slide out there, but I was going to say he made the move on Rev Caterpillar down the pit straight and moved himself up into 4th place, doing a good job on those, on his alternate strategy. But then he's just kind of cost himself there, and he's lost the place by deciding to go for a slide at the end of Sector 1, but he'll have another dose of the DRS, and it definitely does like a run corner. It is quicker than Rev Caterpillar at this stage, and Rev obviously has been overtaken. He's behind his teammate, he's out of the DRS of his teammate, so Agonize is not going to wait up for him, because he himself has closed up onto the back of TF10 Trey for what is now for P2.
Yeah, he definitely has.
And goes for the move.
Yeah, good move from Agonize there.
Yeah, it is a good move there from Agonize, as FGE Samuel gets the move done on G-League Coco there into P9. Obviously, Samuel on those slightly newer hard compounded tyres will take these a bit further than everybody else you'd have thought, but obviously you got Allison now, and we're saying the fastest lap of the race now, followed by Ogween. These two are now only 1.5 seconds and 2 seconds behind the new traders. Arch has now got ahead of Placky, and that's an important move there for Arch, because that could be a net P4 come the end of this. And he's got his sights now set on TF10 down in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the top 2. It is very important for FLC's race if Agonize can get within the DRS of Finn in this back straight here. I don't think he will. I think he's just behind him, only by a mere thousandths, but that will just help Finn just keep the gap for at least one more lap now. But
indeed, I was just going to say, Allison's just overtaken the first of the people in the train. But yeah, Agonize, I think it looks like Agonize, I'd say, has burnt his battery to try and get into that DRS train. I think Finn is now trying to respond, but it might be a bit too little too late, as Ogween is now going for the move onto G-League's Coco. DRS and a bit of battery enabled there. Coco looked like he was half trying to defend that a little bit initially, but in the end just makes way, and Ogween makes his way into P11 as Allison is now on the back of Samuel. Again, another DRS move into turn 1. He'll have the inside line, and easy done, job done, and he's now got a car again in between himself and Ogween. A second half now behind Aiden, but Aiden's going to be his first real big test here. Battling with BRT in the championship standings, they want to get a massive follow-up points compared to their championship rivals. But obviously Aiden himself in the DRS chain that is being led by Runners. TTM Placky with a 3-second time penalty, and that is not what the doctor ordered.
No, it's definitely not. That could be a make or break podium for Placky now. But I saw Ogween make a move down the inside of Samuel. Great move from the new Shazoo man. But Ogween's still 1.5 behind Allison as Allison goes for the move down the inside. Oh, he's gonna contact.
He's made contact. Cinnamorock was trying to make a move on Andrea, and he hit Andrea, sent him into a slide, and Allison, who was already making the move down the inside, got completely caught out. As you said, I don't know if he's got damage, Aiden's benefited from this. He's now gone. He's gained 3 places out of this, and he goes into P6. But that was almost race ending there for Allison.
Yeah, I mean, if he hit the car a bit hard, he might have even more damage, or he might have damage from him.
Oh,
No, but he's got like a rally outside.
He's now making contact with Andrea. To be fair, Andrea didn't look like he gave him enough room. It looked like he wanted to squeeze him onto the grass. But Allison does get ahead of the Haas, and he's now obviously going to have to try and make the move on Aiden once again. But yeah, Allison getting caught up here in this traffic. Who was sticking with that one-stop strategy, whereas obviously Allison either going for this 2-stop or to try and get these mediums to last to the end. But he's now got the much better drive out of the chicane on Aiden, and Aiden is not going to defend that. Same with Ogween making the move on Simbarox 1. He's now behind Andrea. Andrea, you can see that red light flashing away, and Ogween's just going to say thank you very much. He's going to go and take the inside line into the hairpin as Allison does the same on Rev Caterpillar, and he'll have the DRS with the detection point being well before the hairpin. So even though Allison is behind, there you go, the letterbox opens and he does have that DRS.
I mean, yeah, Allison wasting no time getting to the back here now. Obviously, with those fresh mediums, it's like a hot and half bar, as people say.
Oh,
I think he would have the
Simba and Andrea
Dan.
coming to blows, and we've got Dan off in the background.
Dan's got damage. Poor Dan. I think his front left end plate is damaged. He's gonna have to trundle around the lap.
I don't know if he got caught up in that little tussle with Andrea and with Simba Rox 1, as Andrea and Simba now both have time penalties. I think they both definitely got a warning from cutting the chicane, but you know, we'll have to see if they can get those removed. I mean, it was very aggressive driving from the pair of them to try and maintain position, as Ogween now on the inside line of Rev Caterpillar going into the DRS straight. Another move done there for Ogween as he's trying to keep in tabs with Allison. Obviously Allison his nearest rival in terms of on pit strategy and position, as Andrea and Simbarox 1 once again getting a bit argy-bargy, and now Archer's joining in on this, obviously, and his much fresher tyres. Hopefully you can just get this move done quite easily, as Placky again doing the same, going alongside Simbarox 1. Andrea goes to the inside line, but he's got literally no defence to it whatsoever. And Archer will take P9.
Fin boxing now.
Fin boxing as Aiden now picks up his time penalty, as Ogween now on the inside line of Runcorn into turn 1, and he gets that move done, and he's still within 3/4 of a second behind Mr. TTM Allison. Runcorn's still doing a good job in P5, but he's obviously on those 17-lap-old medium tyres. He will go to the hards afterwards, as they look like Aiden and Rev Caterpillar coming to blows through the chicane. That's contact.
Oh,
that's them both in the wall, and that's 2 more drivers. Race is potentially ruined.
Just so many incidents this race. I mean, if we can see from the off-board if they have any damage, I can't see as of right now. I think Aiden has a bit of damage.
I don't think Rev does. I don't think Rev picked up damage. He got hit on the side, and I think he missed the wall. But Aiden potentially does have damage. I'm not too I mean, everyone saw that on stream there. I'm not going to go into it whatsoever, as Mulder now gets the move done on Samuel.
Yeah.
And Furious, I will go up towards the front. I will do that now, as Agonize now on the back of Trey. And there we go. Agonize now taking the net lead. I actually completely missed that BRT Finn had made a pit stop, has come out in P16, but obviously is on fresh mediums and will take those to the end of the race. But he's got a long way to go if he's going to have any chance on catching, you know, the likes of Placky, the likes of Arch, you know, likes of Ogween and Allison, who are, you know, yes, they're on older medium tyres, but the gap that they've got is considerable compared to the rest of them. As obviously you can see now that
on sub.
That's an interesting.
I don't know what they're playing at, to be completely honest with you.
That's an
but
interesting
I guess
call.
we will see. Obviously, I think gonna have to wait, maybe position back up. Obviously, Red being ended with that crash, and only 5 people now haven't made a pit stop. So I wonder what they're gonna do.
It definitely looks like obviously those who have not pit are going to go for the fresher medium tyre compounds, you know, towards the end of the race, as Trey just waving Ogween by there. There's absolutely no point in him attacking and, you know, or defending aggressively from him. He's just going to lose out more time. Just try and stick with the DRS.
Going for the move on the back straight now. He's going to pull.
Indeed, now Allison will
right.
want to try and, want to try and park that so Ogween doesn't follow through.
Yeah,
But it
Agonized
doesn't
dies for
matter.
killing.
Agonized does now go into the pits. Trey decides to stay out for yet another lap, so Allison now takes the lead of this race.
Oh, Alison's
As you
also
can see,
flashing, as we can see.
Allison is indeed flashing, whereas obviously I don't know. I'm not going to bring up all greens. I mean, I'm doing it. Yeah, but those two
Obey the
do
rules.
have a 3-second gap now over Arch, as now Gergo joins the list of people with a time penalty, unless that's his second time penalty. But yeah, there's a 3-second gap between Arch and Arguin, but obviously, as you can probably see, this is, at the moment, it is Team Shazoo versus Team TTM, for the top 4 paying positions. I mean, yes, Trey is currently in P3, but obviously he does still yet need to make a pit stop, as does GL Coco and Simba Rux 1. Runcorn has gone onto those hard compound tires, so I think he might drop down a little bit now as this race goes on, being on the slower compound. TF10 Dan looks like he's going to try and hang it out with this wing damage, hope for a VSC or a safety car to try and propel themselves up towards the field, but now he's going to come under threat from Agonized right on his gearbox now, obviously on 8-lap fresher tyres.
Trey boxing.
Trey boxing, well, yeah, it was inevitable that he would pit. As Agonized now going to go for an easy DRS move here. Dan trying to make it difficult as he can for him, trying to squeeze him. He is on the battery, but it's not going to work, and Dan decides that's enough. He's had enough. He's going to make a pit stop and, well, change his wing and obviously hope for his safety car to come out later in the race.
Yeah, Trey, like Finn, is going to have a lot of work to make up now in only 14 odd laps. As Simba gets a 3-second time penalty.
Simba picks up his second time penalty of this race. He's still yet to pit. And in fact, apart from me and GL Coco, the only two that still need to make a pit stop. What is going to interest me now is what Finn is going to do. Obviously, he's on those 6-lap fresher medium tyres. He's not too far away, from the top drive, for the top guys at the moment. So he's going to get the DRS on Simba Rocks 1, who I think is just going to let him go into the hairpin, and Finn will get the DRS going up the main straight into the final chicane. But Finn, like I said, yeah, let's see how he goes. I mean, a podium is still definitely on. It depends on what the top 5 in this case are going to do, because Mulder, currently in P5 at the moment, as Placky goes for the move on Arch and takes that P3. But Mulder is in a legit P5 at the moment and doing a very good job.
Yeah, I mean, good strategy from WR guys. And I mean, from start in P20, he's done very well, I have to say, for Mulder. Obviously, it's a case of, can he hold that Finn on those 6-lap fresher mediums?
Yeah, definitely. Now, just looking in at the chat, apparently the weather report seems to have played a prank on people. So it sounds to me like there is rain that should have been due, as Vettel now joins the list of those with a penalty. But, I mean, it doesn't look like it at the moment. The clouds, there is light cloud, but the sun is still shining down on us. But again, you go off the percentage, you don't go off the icon. So as Dan now picks up his time penalty, at the moment it looks like we've got more than half the field having a time penalty, and it's easy to pick up penalties on this track. It's very renowned for it. It's just trying to.
Yeah.
It is so difficult as Trey makes the move on GL Coco, goes into the top 10 as Agonized now going to make the move on WR Vettel. Again, Vettel having a decent race himself. He is on the same strategy as his teammate and as the rest of the top 4, but Agonized on those fresher tyres. Easy move there, job done, into P8.
Now, yeah, Finn is on the back of Mulder now, going into turn 1. Can he get the move done? The VRT man, he's got to sling it down the inside. Easy move from Finn on those fresher mediums. Now he's got a 4-second gap to Arch, which he does need to make up as soon as he can. I'm sorry.
Oh, your voice was going there.
Yeah, just a bit, mate.
Nobody heard that.
Hopefully.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Finn can do. I mean, he's already gained half a second in this first sector, as now Runcorn now has a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, I am really intrigued as to what Finn is going to do. He's clearly, at the moment, it seems to be the right strategy. Whether rain is coming or not, I do not know, as Trey now gets into 9th place ahead of WR Vettel. But yeah, he's gained nearly a second this lap already. Probably will be a second come the end of it. I mean, Arch will have the DRS on Placky, so will maybe pull away ever so slightly on the 2 straights. But yeah, I wouldn't discount Finn whatsoever. 12 laps to go. you know, anything can happen. Obviously, it is TTM Allison still leading from Ogween, so and it's still Placky ahead of Arch. So you've got TTM from Shazoo, and then BRT's Finn having a good race on a different strategy, hoping to try and close in on the top 4. As Agonize wanted also thinking to do the same, got a bit more work to do, but now has made his way into P7.
Yeah, Cam, 4 penalties, as was requested in the chat. I think everybody only has a 3 sec, apart from Simba and Gergo on 6 seconds, and Samuel on 8.
There we go. So I brought the penalties up for you. So yeah, everybody's on 3 seconds, minus Simbarox has 2 penalties on 6 seconds, Gergo on 6 seconds, and then obviously Samuel has 8 seconds after he sped into the pit lane. Obviously, 7 at the top 8 do not have penalties, along with Mr. Rev and G-League's Coco.
Yep.
Obviously, looking at the position changes just briefly, and look at that, Mulder up 13 positions, having a great race. He's trying to do his best to stick it there with Finn.
I mean, yeah, obviously he's going to have to do all he can to stay with Finn, but even with he's got a 4-second gap behind Agonize, but nonetheless, he has had a great race so far. And he has kind of dragged Mulder along with him, as Finn is within 2.4 now of Arch. So Finn is just rapid right now, probably going to get in that top 4 train in the next lap or so, I would say. And as Arch is fighting with Placky now.
Indeed, yes. You know, Tez, I'm sorry, if ads come up, I can't control that, I'm afraid. If it came up as I was showing the penalties, clearly it didn't want me to show them. Oh, it was Ogween and Agonized, I think that was, both coming up with 3-second time penalties. That now changes this race completely. Allison now just has to keep it clean, and obviously, yeah, depending on if that penalty can be removed or not, but at the moment now, Allison is in the driving seat.
Yeah, 100% there. But obviously, you never know. We don't know how many warnings Arch and Allison are on. I mean, we could probably check with Race Director, but we don't want to ruin the entertaining. But Arch, I mean, even with Dogwing 2 seconds, Arch is 3 seconds behind. I'm getting pressured by Placky. So we'll see what happens. And Finn now 1.5 behind. So he will be probably fighting next lap.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that, look who's joining in on this, as Ogween now goes for the race lead. He's going to have to lead this race and try and stick out for him. But look at this. BRT Finn, 1.5 seconds now behind this second little train. As Arch has now picked up a time penalty. That's the second Shazoo driver to pick up a penalty. And Placky sees that, and Placky's now going to go for the move down the inside, because this is now for net position. And Placky takes that P3 back, but Finn is right there now. He's going to be within the DRS. 10 laps to go. Finn looking good.
This might just be a game of don't get any more warnings. That could just win in the race. But as he is within 5/10 now of Arch and Placky, so he's going to have to get past as quick as he can to get that gap back to Allison.
Oh, yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. So, yeah, he's got... This is the other thing as well, is that obviously we don't know what the batteries are of Placky and Arch. I'd presume they've not been trying saving that. But look at the speed difference the BRT Finn has got there, riding on board, going into the hairpin. Is he going to make a lunge down the inside? The answer is no. But if he's going to have any chance at catching the top 2, I mean, at the moment he is a net P3. But that gap between Allison and Placky, nearly at 4 seconds now. And yes, Finn is currently on a net podium, but if he wants to try and get that at least a second place, he's got to get ahead of both Placky and Arch.
Yeah. I reckon in the next lap he's going to have them. Or maybe even on this straight, as Arch gets a bad exit. Finn in the DRS now, is he going to use the battery? No, he's not. He's not going to go down the inside either. He's going to have to sit behind them now, just for a little bit.
Well, yeah, he's going to have to. I mean, if you looked at... always gets a little bit of a wiggle there coming out of turn 2. The traction there, he's starting... Maybe he's having a bit of an issue with the traction coming out, but look at the run that he's just gone through the chicane. He's actually going to have a look down the inside there. That's not somewhere that you normally see an overtake. As he now set it, now he does send it. He does make Arch go wide. Arch just about shuts the door on him for now, but surely this is inevitable. Surely Finn's going to get a move done anytime soon.
It seems he is getting a little bit desperate, as you wouldn't normally go for a move there. But I don't doubt him that he's probably going to get them on the straight, or maybe even into the hairpin, as he's right on the back of Arch now.
Yeah, definitely, as Arch once again defending the inside line. Trying to, as Finn has I don't know if there's a little bit of contact or desync on my side, but one thing that I don't know if you've noticed or if it's just me, but look at the gap between second and third. That gap has increased by near enough a second. Is Placky doing a hold-up job here to help his teammate? So Finn doesn't close up. It might be the case. I could be talking rubbish, but it does seem to be the case. Finn once again getting a good run through the final chicane, but he's just not close enough. And Arch, with the DRS, is able to hang on to that P4 place for the time being. Agonize and Trey have got ahead of Mulder. They are now running 6th and 7th. They are on even slightly newer and fresher tyres compared to BRT Finn. Don't count them out. You did mention, Zach, to not count out TF10 Trey, and you predicted him in the top 3. This race could still come to him, yeah, because he is one of the very few drivers that's not picked up a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, as very few drivers, there's only, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in this grid without a penalty right now. That just shows if you are consistent, the results can get very good for you. As Finn into the chicane.
Oh, Arch has made a mistake. I don't know if there was contact there, if Arch has just made a big mistake. It looks like he has, but Arch has now lost out massively. He's actually out of the DR. Oh, he's lagged.
Wait, what?
Nice lag.
Never mind. We moved.
Nice lag. Nice lag.
Anyway,
that's what happens when I don't host. as Alison has now made the move on Shizu's going back into the race lead. It still says that Arch is 1.3 seconds behind, but obviously I know that that's not true.
Yeah, Finn, can he actually get the move done now? Now, Arch may have a move into Placket where it's not. I mean, if you look at the gap from P2 to P3, is that raining?
There's the flash.
That's
the flash. There is rain. The rain has arrived. It is here. Now, what is everybody going to do? That's a nice little cut there by Finn. That's clearly a warning. No, not going to say anything. But is this rain going to come down? Is it going to be heavy enough to go to intermediate tyres? Finn down the inside. He's got to make these tyres work now. He's got to get these moves done. If the rain's going to be heavy enough to go to intermediate tyres, they're going to be side by side. But look at him flashing away. Archer's got the power. He's got the battery. Finn has not saved his battery. And Archer's just able to hold that position. But he's gone too deep into the chicane. Finn has got another opportunity. Yes, he's going to be on the outside into the hairpin. Could he try a switchback? Agonize is now joining on this. Going to run, but as Agonize goes there, steps out the rear end of his car. Broke a bit too heavy there, but Finn, has he got the traction? Has he got the move done? He has. He's pulled ahead, but he doesn't have the DRS onto Placky. And Arch is just going to retake that position. And here comes Agonize on the inside of Finn.
Oh, Finn.
And Agonize has just done that as... Which is that TF10? Trey has boxed. Trey has boxed.
Wait, he surely has to go on to Winters now. He is going on to Winters.
Look at that. And look at that. Agonize has just easily overtaken. Agonize has just easily overtaken Arch. I don't know what Finn's issue was, but Agonize has just completely done Arch very easily into turn 1. I don't understand then as to why... how Finn couldn't do it. Is once again he's trying to have a look, and now he's going to go around the outside. Coming to the end of the second one, he's got the inside, and he's finally got the move done. He's done it. It's about 4 laps too late. He's finally ahead, but he's now got Agonize in front of him. And look at Agonize now closing in onto TT and Placky. Look at the gap between Placky and Allison. It's gone to nearly 7 seconds. The top 2 are in a different league.
I mean, yeah, if you look at the tyre difference between Agonize and Finn, Agonize has 2 lap newer tyres than Finn, which means he has 8 lap newer tyres than the top 3. So maybe with that tyre advantage, he can just close the gap between him and Allison. But Ogwin and Allison are box onto
is it ready? Is it ready? Agonize stays out. Placky's in. Finn stays out. Arch pits in. So we've got a mixture of strategies going on here. Obviously, TF10 Trey on those intermediate tyres. I want to bring up the gap to leader. TF10 Trey currently 18.2 seconds off the race leader, which is Agonized. But a lot of the field is now going in from intermediates. Is it ready? I mean, look at Trey. Is he gonna jump Placky and Arch? He has.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good move from Trey there, just to get that early stop. But I feel like Agonized Finn and Naronka could be very, very messed up here. But we will see, as it doesn't look like to be raining that heavily currently. But as I say, that is picking up. Yeah,
it
definitely
has
3 seconds. as
Yeah,
well.
Zarunka's now got another penalty. You can definitely tell that, this raid is going to be intermediates. I mean, Trey has gained about half a second, I think, this lap currently onto Agonize. Agonize, I think, is just going to try and hang out until the end of this race and just pray that it doesn't get any heavier. I mean, the gap has actually stayed the same through this middle sector, so Agonize doing a good job. He is on the freshest, besides G-League's Coco, on the freshest.
Yeah,
He's actually boxed.
Along with
He's got to box, as has Finn. Yeah, they have to. No, Arunca stays out. Oh, he's going for broke. Arunca is going for broke.
He's going it. AMS lead the Canadian Grand Prix by, I don't even know how much it is right now, but 12 lap hold cards against New Winters, 3 seconds. Yeah. I wonder how much he can hold him off.
Yeah, I mean, 4 laps to go. Let's see what happens. Obviously, Arguin is now in second place. Allison's third. Trey, is Trey going to be in P? Is he going to be P3? Or is Agonize going to stay? Agonize just stays ahead of him.
Well,
obviously does have that time penalty. So at the moment, TF10 at the moment might have actually cooked to strategy.
Yeah, but obviously the gap from Agonize to Allison, 8.5 seconds now. Well, he could be on the podium when Arunca eventually boxes, and Arunca has lost 2 seconds this lap to Arguin with the tyres. But yeah, Arguin will be making that move soon. Also, Coco in P10 on the medium still. He's surely going to have to box this lap.
I think they've kind of made their decision now. I think if they just pit now, they're just going to lose even more time, as Arunca just could not get the power down, and Arguin retakes the lead here. The Canadian Grand Prix. Allison now he's on the batches. DRS is now disabled. Arguin has now got a driver in between him and Allison. Arunca has just completely missed the chicane, and Allison is just going to easily overtake him there and gets into second place. Can Arguin now pull out a 3-second gap to Allison? He's got 2.1 seconds to do it in. He's got 3 laps to go. Can he get it done? Agonize. Arunca, can he hold off 8.5 seconds to Agonize and keep a 3rd place finish for AMS?
Possibly. He has to throw it now. There's no way he can box. Agonize slowly cutting down the time to him now. Yeah, like I said, he just has to farm it. There's no way he can box now. He'll lose too much time. Also, Trey as well. Trey can be within reach of a podium. Also, Finn, don't get out Finn. If Finn can actually make overtakes this time, he could be within the podium as well.
Well, this is the thing with Finn. Obviously, he should be in 4th place at the moment. He should actually even be in 3rd place. But a little bit of indecisiveness. I don't know if he... did he have the balls, I guess you could say? Something just made him not go for the move as much as I thought he would have done. And obviously, he's now lost out on 2 places to Trey and to Agonize. Arch and Placky, unfortunately, have lost out in all this. The strategy wasn't exactly wrong. It's just that they've just lost out with the pace aspect, I think. With the pace that they, with the time that they were losing to the front 2 in particular, as Finn has now closed in onto the back of Trey. This obviously is for net position. He does have 2 lap fresher tyres compared to Trey. You can see Trey is actually losing time to Agonize. That gap has now increased to 1.7 seconds. Another 1.3 seconds for Agonize, and he could actually get a podium here as he now closes in on the back of Arunca, and Arunca is just going to be as he hits the wall and Agonize. Yeah, I think he's picked up wing damage from that, and he's gonna be lucky if he holds on now to even a top 10 finish at this rate. The likes of Trey, look at how much he's struggling.
Yeah, Trey and Finn both go through now. He's just gonna slide down the order now. Poor guy. I mean, I rate it for him trying to stay out, but I think who's on pitch straight? Someone's binned it.
I think someone's either binned it or he's gone into the pits. I'm not too sure. I'm guessing he's binned it.
Yeah, Arunca now P8 as well. Gonna be P9 when Mulder overtakes him.
Oh, Trey sliding. He's gone Tokyo drifting into the hairpin, and Finn just says thank you very, very much. And TF10 Trey has potentially just lost a podium.
Yeah, he has a penalty now as well, which obviously he was one of the only people without a penalty now, so I think that could have just ruined his podium chances.
Yeah, we are now down to 4 drivers that don't have a penalty. That's Riff Caterpillar Mulder, who's now just overtaken Arunca for P8. BRT Finn and TTM Allison. Allison has closed in on that gap onto Arguin. We are actually on the final lap of the race, so I've completely not realised that we are actually on the final lap. And as we got a McLaren of Samuel that looks like has just parked and is
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's dangerous.
thank
If
thank
that
good
McLaren
thank good
wasn't ghosted,
thank
Allison
thank goodness the
was
ghosting
dead.
worked. Yes, thank goodness the
Yeah, but
ghosting worked, or else that's an Ogween that's going to be cooked and into the wall, and an Allison actually for that matter as well.
yeah.
But
Talking about those two now, into the last second, Ogden does have a penalty, but Allison 2 seconds behind. Allison just has to sit behind now for one more straight in a chicane, then he will take this victory. Archie gets another
oh,
3
Arch
seconds.
with another time penalty at the moment. That's actually going to drop him to P8 behind Mulder. But Allison will probably want to go for the move here on Ogween because he doesn't know if he can get that penalty removed or not. He's got the slipstream. He's going to have a look down the inside into the chicane. Ogween later onto the brakes. He could just park it in the apex, and indeed he does. Coming across to the start finish line, Ogween weaving across the start finish line. He wins the Canadian Grand Prix, but Allison will win it on countback on penalties. Agonize looks like he's, well, is he going to take P3? Has Finn got a decent enough run out the chicane? It looks like he has. Agonize crosses P3, but Finn will get that podium position for BRT. Agonize drops to 4th, Trey 5th. Mulder, without his penalty, moves into 6th place. That's a fantastic... And look at that, 2,000th of TF10 Trey, what nearly could have been 5th place, but a fantastic result for WR and for Mulder on their debut. Placky in 7th, Arch finishes at 8th. Vettel getting another top 10 finish for WR. That's 2 drivers in the top 10. Aruncohun does just by 84 milliseconds hang on to P10 ahead of Rev Caterpillar. Andrea 12th, Aiden disappointingly down in 13th for BRT. Not a great day for Aiden. Simrox won 14th, and Dan, after his wing damage, rounds out the top 15 in your points paying positions.
Yeah, really entertaining race near the end of this race there. I say Aronga Hunt has managed to hold on to a top 10 finish, so respect to him for just firming it and staying out on those hard tyres.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Respect to him. I don't know what position he was actually in by the time it was ready to go on to intermediates. I don't know if he's actually lost places as a result. If he did, it might have just been the one. So, maybe not too much, but obviously, you've got to chance it sometimes, and that's what he did. Maybe if he was on the mediums, it might have not lost out too much. But who knows at the end of the day. Mulder getting driver of the day there. And to be honest, actually, I would actually give it to Mulder. I think he did a great job there. Good strategy. Obviously started at the back of the field with the quali ban. That's what happens when you don't join the lobbies on time. But, recovering and nearly got a top 5 finish is a great result. But Allison getting the win for TTM, and looks like, at least provisionally, TTM extending their championship lead.
Yeah, TTM already have a 50-point buffer to BRT, and I imagine that's just going to get even bigger after this race. Finn has managed to salvage some sort of points to BRT, though, getting a 3rd place finish.
Indeed, it could have been so much more for BRT, Finn. He just needed to be that little bit more aggressive. But in the end, P3 is still a decent result for him. But here's your final results. Obviously, Allison taking the win here at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve here in Canada. Ogween on his debut for Shazoo gets P2, and BRT is your 3rd place finisher running at the podium there. TTM, Shazoo, and BRT on the podium. Agonize doing a good recovery job there from 4th to get FRT into after starting P11. Trey 5th, Mulder 6th, Placky 7th, Arch 8th, Vettel 9th, Aruncohun 10th, Rev Caterpillar 11th, Andrea 12th, Aiden 13th, Simrox 14th, and Dan, as I mentioned, rounding out your top 15 with Aiden getting the fastest lap there. Is there a fastest lap point for this? I think there is.
Yes, there is point for
Indeed,
lap.
there is.
And
So at
point
least
for Paul
BRT
as well.
and a point for Paul. So at least BRT get a point for fastest lap, and obviously Shazoo will get a point for their pole position. Obviously, that has been round 4 here of the CSS Championship. Join us next... we haven't got a break week, have we? We are back next week.
Nope. Yeah, we are back next week at night.
We are back next week.
Again.
Well, it depends on if I'm racing or not. I might have to take control again. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you guys. Oh, it's great week, guys.